Hi there, this is Go Via Go Home, and I want to welcome you back to another channel layout update. This is number 24. We've got lots to show you, so we're going to get started right now. Okay, so starting with the module that I barely do work on, there's actually some change. I mean, not too much, but just enough to say, oh, you were doing some work. You've been busy. That's right. I raised up the land in that area there. You can see that I sprayed a concrete kind of grayish platform. Then I painted, then I used the Sculptamold and I filled it all in, and you can kind of see it's raised in certain areas there. Then I painted it all brown, painted in here brown, like in around that, because that's going to be all dirty. And then I was able to put my fence back in, which is great. I really like the fence. And just today I was able to add some greenery, which is great because it really ties it off and it really makes it look a lot more like a completed scene. Now, in no way is this complete, but it's getting there. I still have to clean a lot of, there was some greenery that came down onto the sidewalk, so I have to fix that. I also did this side here, that little patch, that's been a long time coming. Painted that brown the other day, and then I was able to add the greenery. Still waiting for it to dry, and then I gotta clean that up as well. So, really happy about that. The lights, you can see there's two street lights there. They're on right now, just to kind of, yeah, you can kind of see the difference. I really wanted to get some. As soon as I saw these, I was like, yeah, I need some of those. So it came in a pack of 3. So here's the other one over here on the bus terminal. It really lights up when it's dark. So, you know, I might show you that later with the lights off. There's also a light inside the terminal there. So that's really cool. And obviously still, this all lights up. There's been no change to this. And I still got all my lights under here, which is great. No new cars, unfortunately. But yeah, that's what I've got done with that. Real happy with that. Moving down this way, I'm actually going to be getting rid of this building here. I'm going to give it to M&M Rails because he could use an extra kit or two. So I'm going to pawn that off on him, and then I'm going to be replacing it with about 2 or 3 more kits, which will fill in from there all the way over to here. I'm not completely sure what I'm going to do there yet, but I do have a really good idea. I think this is going to be the section that people are going to notice the most change, if anything. Starting to build this up here. This is where all my paper mill is. None of this track is down yet. It's sitting there. That's just my idea. You know, 4 tracks, 3 sidings, and 1 going into the mill there, the paper mill. In behind, you can see I've got it all. I've got to carve it though. Like, I've started carving down this side, but I still have to carve all this and round it off, and then I'll be able to come back in here with Sculptamold and fill that in and make it look a lot more aesthetically pleasing. But until then, I'm working 50,000 other things here. So, but that was something I definitely wanted to do. And you're gonna see these in another, like, my series that I did. Like, I did part 1 and I've got part 2 ready to go, but I still have a bit more to film, and I think I want to get a different spray paint for that. The one that I was going to use, I ran out of it, so yeah, now it's that color. This is the bonus. This is going to be some bonus footage because I have the rotary dump that Mr. M&M Rails sent me, and I got it mostly together. None of it's painted yet, so I still have to paint that. And then you'll notice here, as I'm just going to slightly move that out of the way. So I've got some risers, and I did some work here. So you can see the track coming in there. That's from the other side. and there's a number 7, which is upside down because I need a left hand, not a right hand. And it goes up, upgrade. And you can see I've raised this up too, so that's cool. Might go up a little bit higher, I don't know yet. I think that should be good though. And then coming this way, it goes up even higher. These are, how long is that? That's like 2 feet long, and then it goes up a 1/4 of an inch. So really, this is raising up an inch here. And then, yeah, it's gonna connect over this way, and it's gonna go into what is most likely that switch there. They're gonna bring that over to here, and so it comes here. Let me come on this side. So it comes over to here. So it switches off, but if you go this way, you're going up on a single line, up an inch, and then from here, right about here where that yellow boxcar is, it's gonna split with a number 7, which is gonna go into here and here, but there's also gonna be a number 5 or 6 here, which is gonna send it down this way, and then you're gonna have your switches that go off that way, and another one that comes up to here with for the dumper. And then all over here you can kind of see this will get cut back obviously, but it's just a huge piece for there for now. And then this is gonna all be city, town, I guess, like in like small buildings, streets, and little shops and stuff like that, maybe a restaurant or two, but I have to make it fit, and it should be okay. But it all happens in the foreground, and then the train running behind it will look really neat, and it's just going to slope down, and then the city will be here. So that's going to take a lot, because each individual building, if you think about it, you know, I'll probably be able to fit like Merchants Row, like 1, 2, and 3 in here, plus a few other ones. I don't have any of them yet, so eventually I'm gonna order an entire city here for it. And I've got tons of tracks still that I'm using, still stocked up, but there's switches I need. I need a number of switches still to actually complete this section, and that, you know, so it's just a waiting game now, unfortunately, but we're getting there, and we'll get it done. And I gotta put something else in here. I don't know what to put in here. That's another thing. I don't know what to do with that section there, but that's basically, you know, that's what we're working with as far as the paper mill. So that, to me, that's fine. I might get some tanks and put the tanks in there. It's hard to say. There's so much that needs to be done still. So, and a backdrop. I still need to get the backdrop. I have to order that. So, still, right? So much to do. Let's go to the other side. Busy, busy, busy. Filling everything in as I go. I have to fill all that in there. They're all cut though, so I'm gonna have to sculpt and mold that. And then I also got a sanding tower, which is going to go roughly about here for whichever train and whatnot that comes out that needs to be filled with sand. So that'll be here like soon, like next week, next couple of days, something like that. But then you can see I have been doing a lot of work on my actual North Bay shop. Even just the look of it right now, if I do this, I think I impressed myself. I'm not huge on building like custom buildings like this. I haven't really done much of it, to be honest with you. I usually use the plastic, the prefab stuff, and build them that way, or I'll take a pre-existing kit and I'll change it. But this is totally from scratch. Every single one of these windows was a pain in my butt, and I did every single one of those by hand. So I made 20 little frames with 20 little windows in, you know, and then I had to cut out 20 little squares on both this and the foam core, and then I had to glue 20 little windows in place, and that's I'm not even done yet. The weird thing about this is that the actual North Bay shop, they just had these little windows change, so that's how it looks now. The other one had much larger windows and two sets, so like a lower one and a higher one. But because I do modern, I'm trying to keep it modern. So this is, I'm going with this version. Now, because this is a process that's going over, I think, 4 years, I hear that they're going to be doing this renovation. I got to kind of wait as I'm building this because I don't know how it's going to look up here and how that's going to look and how all the windows are going to be changed. They might not have any windows up here whatsoever. And I don't want to start cutting windows just to, you know, fill it back in. So I'm going to leave it as is. I'm going to leave that little door right there because that's neat. And I still have a bit more to do, but I even have this end done, and that's about it. But I'm getting there. Lots to do, lots to do. And yeah, you can obviously see I've been busy doing some greenery. I'm getting rid of the pink really, really quickly here because I do not want to see any more pink. I'm so sick of it. Sorry if you like pink, but I gotta see more green now, and I want to see progression and whatnot. So here I am adding greens and, you know, brick houses and stuff like that. Backdrops. This is, you know, this is how I want it to look. You know, I want to have a more realistic looking layout. So just going through, you know, you guys, if you watched the live train running a couple weeks ago, or was that a week ago? I can't remember. You know, I'm trying to make things a bit more realistic here and run trains and have the scenery look a lot better than it just being a mountain of pink foam, you know. I can't do that anymore. So I'm slowly filling everything in and getting it done. Obviously, I still have lots to do because, you know, there's a lot here. You know, I've got buildings that I still have to complete, you know, like the bakery. But I'm getting there, and I need more foam. But because obviously you can't get to Home Depot and whatnot now because of everything, you know, I ran out of pink foam. So I'm slowly running out of stuff as I go here, but I'm trying to keep going, keep the, you know, the momentum up and trying to complete what I can. And then we move over to this section. So you can see here, there was a huge gap there. It looked obviously like this, right? It was pink foam and then it goes down to, you know. So I went around with the Sculptamold and filled it in, painted it brown. It's not done by any means. And I still have to do in behind, right? Because that sticks out. But if I'm looking at it like this, you can't really tell. So it doesn't bother me as much. Where this here, looking at that all the way around, it just looked terrible. So now, not so bad. And obviously the scrap yard is here. Getting a lot of that completed as well. Lots of things still have to be wired there, not a problem. It'll get done eventually. Same thing with along here. Added the Sculptamold right along, filled that in because that was a huge drop there. And I need to add again another fence along here, but I gotta kind of wait on that. And then I added a lot of these Caboose Industries. I think I got about 10 of them in the mail. So there's a couple, well, they're right along here, right along the front of the fascia. I think there's one up in there. And then I had moved some as well because I could over to this side. So there's 2 there, 1 there, and I think there's 1 right behind the caboose. I do like the Caboose Industries manual hand throws. Yeah, they're not realistic. It's not, you know, it's not prototypical, but, you know, if I'm switching out, okay, there, I threw a switch, you know what I mean? I don't like putting my hands on the layout, especially if I'm going to go through and weather and whatnot, and I don't like doing that. I'd prefer to have some sort of, you know, action involved, so that doesn't bother me. Along the main though, I don't think I'll be doing these. Originally I was going to do tortoise switch machines on the main and these on the sidings, but I think I'm just going to do these on the sidings when I do a layout down the road where it's more permanent and a lot more professional. I'm going to worry about the wiring and stuff then. Now I don't care. I want to, you know, work on the trains and run trains. That's all I want to do. Got retirement for that stuff, but it's still kind of a mess. Still got lots on the go here. I had to move all this stuff down because obviously I'm working all in there, so. But that's about it. That's everything that I've been working on. And you know, it's getting there. It's slowly getting finished. Okay, so I can't remember if I showed you or not, but so this is the station. Everyone's seen the station with the lights on. It looks really nice, and I thought this was like an awesome idea to do that for the trains running if I want to run at night. And then the headlights, they light up as well, which is great, and it looks like a real station at night. It's awesome. So then I've got that little street light there, which the GO Transit bus, yeah, okay, yeah, it pulled right up to the curb. So it's awaiting passengers there, and I'll eventually have another one in there. So they're gonna both be parked, maybe not as widely as that. There we go. And then, yeah, that goes beside the station there. Obviously you can see the station lights up. And then nice little city scene at night. Again, I have to clean up some of that, but really happy with how this stuff is turning out. Okay, so remember when I was talking about adding a number 7 to the back side there? It's gonna send another track up this way. So then eventually I want the track to come out over here, right back here, right behind the glass case. So I'm gonna pull the glass case forward a bit, maybe a foot. I don't need it to be too wide, but it's basically gonna go in behind here, and it's gonna run, sorry for the mess by the way, it's fine. So it's gonna run in behind that, and that'll be out a little bit. I'm planning on getting a second one of these, so they'll be side by each here, and then basically when it gets to about what would be here, it's gonna go into a bridge, because I really want a bridge. I had like one way back in that corner at one point, but that didn't work out because it was originally over here, and then I had moved it over to there, and it didn't work for where it was, and etc, etc. I wanted the yard instead. Anyways, that's in the past. But because I have a workstation here, yes, that's my workstation, yes, those are cookies, yes, that's an energy drink, shouldn't be drinking it, I know, but once I'm back to work and I don't need this anymore, there's going to be a module right here, maybe like 4 feet out or 3 feet out, and then 4 feet this way or 5 feet, I don't know what I can fit, something like that. But there's going to be an industry in here, and then it's gonna come out into 2 tracks. It's come right down, and then it's gonna go down to a switch, which obviously splits them, and then it goes across the bridge, and then it goes behind the glass cases and then back out to that way. And that's kind of my big idea, just to have a very thin module going right across here, and to just kind of expand the layout to that corner there, so that I can add another industry, which I know exactly what I'm going to do. And I totally blame Lauren from Otter Valley for this one, because I mean, I'm not going to tell you guys what it is yet, because it's still patent pending, but it's going to be a blast from the past, especially for the, oh, I don't know, the 25 plus age group. Maybe I want to say the 30, yeah, the 30 plus, because it's a store that closed a long time ago, and it has to do with, you know, some of the other industries that I have going on here, and it's Canadian. So, oh man, I want to tell you, but I'm not going to tell you. So if you want to guess, you can put your guess down below, but I'm not going to tell you yet. I want to see what you guys think. So it has to do with something. It's going to be an industry or a store name that used to exist a long time ago. I don't even know if it still exists. Probably not. But it has to do with some of the other buildings that I have here, so I can take from it and drop off to it. And yeah, so that's it. I want to hear your guesses down below, and also your ideas for this industry right here on the other side. I want to know what to put there. So let me know what you think of the changes here. Let me know what you think I should do for those two industries, or what you think the industry is going to be. And then watch for when I change this entire section out here, because that building is gone and this is going to be completely different. So stay tuned for that. Until next time though, I'm Go Via or Go Home. I've got a bunch of trains to catch. Have a good one, everybody.